Jason Aldean and his wife Britney are definitely letting their feelings known in the midst of this massive Cracker Barrel controversy, and it doesn't sound like they'll be eating at the establishment anytime soon. It seems like every few months another major brand decides to roll the dice on a total reinvention, and it almost never goes over well. There's a very fine line between staying modern and completely erasing the character that people fell in love with in the first place. And right now, it looks like the Cracker Barrel has stomped all over that line. The restaurant, a staple known for its southern comfort food and old country charm, has found itself at the center of a massive controversy after unveiling a major rebrand recently. The backlash has been swift, spawning calls for boycotts, drawing in some of the biggest names in country music, and even causing a significant hit to their stock price. But the story gets even more complicated when you hear the company's official response, which seems to exist in a completely different reality from what everyone else is seeing. And now, Jason Aldean and his wife Britney have officially entered the chat, making it clear which side they're on. So what exactly did Cracker Barrel do to get people fired up? Well, after nearly 50 years with the same iconic logo, they decided it was time for a change. That logo, the one we all know, featured an old man sitting in a rocking chair next to a barrel. It was simple, it was rustic, and it perfectly captured the nostalgic down-home vibe the restaurant was built on. And that logo is now gone. In its place is a new minimalist design. The company said they wanted to clean things up. But in the process, they got rid of the old man, they got rid of the barrel. And according to thousands of angry customers, they got rid of every single ounce of character the original logo had. The new symbol is being called lifeless, sterile, boring. It's the kind of generic corporate logo you'd expect from a tech startup, not a place that prides itself on biscuits and gravy. The change wasn't just the logo either. The rebranding reportedly includes an interior remodel for many locations, shifting to a more generic, overdone farmhouse look. As you can imagine, people who have loved the brand for decades felt like something they cherished was being stripped away and replaced with a soulless corporate facade. The reaction online was immediate and overwhelmingly negative. But this is where the story takes a strange turn. In the face of this massive public outcry, Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Masino claimed that the response to the restaurant's rebrand has been overwhelmingly positive. That statement is difficult to square with the financial reality. Immediately after the announcement, Cracker Barrel's stock took a nearly 14% dive, which reportedly wiped out something in the neighborhood of $100 million in value. While the stock has recovered a bit since then, it was a clear signal from investors that the public wasn't on board. The backlash wasn't just happening on Wall Street either. On social media, the criticism was heating up, with some customers calling for a full-on boycott. That's when country music star John Rich weighed in, calling the rebrand the restaurant's very own Bud Light moment, a direct reference to the massive controversy that caused a severe and lasting financial hit to the brand. He wasn't the only public figure to comment either. It was even reported that the President of the United States gave his 2 cents on the matter, suggesting the restaurant could get $1 billion worth of free publicity if they just went back on the changes. With all of that as the backdrop, Jason and Brittany Aldean decided to make their own statement. The couple went out for a breakfast date, but it wasn't to their local Cracker Barrel. They posted a photo from a competitor, a restaurant called First Watch, and the caption was a direct shot at the controversy. Brittany wrote, "Breakfast date this morning, we would be at Cracker Barrel, but y'all been acting a fool." So with all the pressure from customers, from investors, and celebrities, you might think Cracker Barrel might be ready to reconsider. But just yesterday, the company released a long statement, and it seems they've decided to double down. The statement reads in part, "If the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. We're truly grateful for your heartfelt voices. You've also shown us that we could have done a better job sharing who we are and who we'll always be. What has not changed and what will never change are the values this company was built on. A place where everyone feels at home, no matter where you're from or where you're headed. That's the Cracker Barrel you'll always find." It continues, "We also want to be sure Cracker Barrel is here for the next generation of families, just as it has been for yours. That means showing up on new platforms and in new ways, but always with our heritage at the heart. We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we'll keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees. At the end of the day, our promise is simple. You'll always find comfort, community, and country hospitality here at Cracker Barrel." Essentially, they're at least acknowledging the backlash, but it sounds like they're going to push forward regardless of what people have to say. they're going to do what they want to do. But with people like Jason and Brittany Aldean firing shots, the question is whether the company can afford to ignore the message its most loyal customers are sending. So what do you think of all of this? Is the new logo really that bad, or are people overreacting? And does a celebrity like Jason Aldean weighing in actually make a difference? It definitely seems so. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.